Google Stadia is done, or at least for the gaming production. Welcome to my channel, my name is Chaos Mole, and today, well, the news came that Google Stadia has, after a report of Kotaku, officially announced that they will close down their two internal development studios with over 150 people working in it, and Jade Raymond will also leave Google Stadia immediately. And if you're wondering, Jade Raymond, who was that again? Just one of the people who basically created Assassin's Creed. No biggie really. But yeah, this might be the beginning of the end of Google Stadia. And I know that some people will now say, oh my god, is this hating on Stadia? Here's the thing. I have always said that Stadia in itself is a good idea. It is the idea of the future. I mean, Xbox is doing it, Amazon is doing it, Nvidia is doing it, kinda, and so Stadia doing it as well and being one of the first is not a bad idea at all. The problem is just they are offering the worst offer. What they have to offer to you is, in comparison to Xbox, a joke. When you look at Xbox, you're basically getting like all the Game Pass games. On top of your Game Pass, you can play online. With Nvidia, you can just use, well, at least most of your Steam library to play online. And even Amazon has multiple TV channels which you can just subscribe to, and then you can play the games. On Stadia, you have to still pay $60. And if you want to get all the Stadia features, you also have to pay $10 on top of that. Like, you cannot compete with that. It's just not possible. But we talked about this multiple times. We had a lot of talk about like what this means with this business model, and it seems like not enough people actually jumped on the train. And so Stadia has announced now that they're actually closing games development, which is really weird. Like, keep in mind, the two development studios basically started their work about 1 to 2 years ago. Like, they're very, very young studios. And Google hired big names. I still remember in 2018, 2019, people talked about like, oh my god, have you heard? That person just left this development studio and moved to Google Stadia. Oh my god, what are they working on? Like, Jade Raymond is a wonderful example here, right? It was like, oh man, left them. Like, left Assassin's Creed, all that for Stadia. That's amazing. And they have all the big names. And now after just like 2 years, Google is like, nah, actually we don't want that anymore. And this makes me really worried for the future. Now, of course, Google has already said, nah, we are closing this down. This sucks, of course. But what we are now doing is that we want to work with third-party developers, and we actually bring more third-party releases to the platform. And they also want to give developers the Stadia technology so that technically other publishers could start to develop Stadia exclusives, and Stadia doesn't have to do that anymore. Here's the problem though. It seems like Stadia has completely missed a trend in the last few years, and that is diversifying. Publishers have realized that diversifying is so much better for them. Releasing your games as on many platforms as possible, and if you are going for an exclusive, for like a first-party developer, that first-party developer has to pay a lot of money. And it seems like as if Google hasn't even done that to their own studios. Like, the people who have worked on the Google Studios basically said, yeah, it's working like for Amazon Game Studios. Like, right, you don't really get anything done, but you are also completely underpaid. And it's like, whoa. So the question is, how much would Stadia really pay to, let's say, I don't know, an EA to bring the newest Battlefield exclusive to Stadia? probably not enough. Same goes for Ubisoft games. Like, think about it. The next Assassin's Creed or whatever will be a Stadia exclusive, and the amount of money Google has to pay is probably not something they are doing, which is already not a good sign. Like, this is really, really not a good sign. And it sucks because, of course, some people jumped on the whole Stadia thing and they invested into the platform, which is their own thing, right? It's their own decision. But this is what a lot of people have warned about, like, hey, this is Google. Remember, they like to shut down things and you might lose your games and you will never see them again. And that is really, really unfortunate. Like, you can clearly see that Google had completely different plans for Stadia and now cuts them down, and now we are getting a much, much smaller care package. But the problem is just, as I said before, this will not change the problems Google Stadia has. Like, Google Stadia is still the worst offer in the market. Like, why should I go to Stadia, pay $60 for a game where I don't even know what will happen to the game, and then also pay another $10 per month just to get like features like 4K gaming or like getting some Dolby surround and whatnot? I was like, what? You're removing that and I have to pay $10? You know what? I pay $15 per month for the Game Pass, and I get hundreds of games for free I can just stream. Like, why should I do that, right? And even if you were going for the Amazon stuff or for the Nvidia, they're just better offers out there. And oh my god, like even PlayStation Now, and I don't say that lightly, but even PlayStation Now is offering you something better. And I have the feeling, if Google really wants to turn this around, and this is the last warning shot, like this is the last thing. If they are not turning it around after this one, Google Stadia will be shut down next year. I guarantee you that. So they have to turn it around. And they really, really have to take a hard look at their business model right now. Because I think this is actually what people hold back in the end. Like, I have played the demo of, what was it? Immortal Phoenix Rising. And it was good. It did run well, looked good. I had my fun with it. Like, it felt really good. No installation, no patching, nothing. It's great. And especially as a streamer, like, I could use my whole PC just for streaming, right? It's a great thing. But that was a demo. So yeah, they really have to sit down, change their business model, made sure that the features they basically offered are there and not just we are still waiting for a few features here and there. And they basically really have to put in the work into Stadia, and they have to put in the money. But I have the feeling that is exactly the problem Google has. And again, if they are not turning this around next year, then we will probably do another video, not about Google Stadia shutting down 2 developer studios, but shutting down Google Stadia. And that's really not what we want. And again, I'm really sorry for the 150 people who have been basically working on the studios, right? Who just came over last year or came over in 2019 and haven't even released the game, are not getting told, oh yeah, sorry, you are not part of our business anymore, even though you were super important to us. Bye. It's like, what? Like, I think I have never seen studios being that volatile. Like, even EA, which we always make fun about that they are killing of studios, right? even they didn't kill off studios that quickly. So, yeah, this should be a strong warning message. Alright, folks, thank you so much for watching. I hope they are turning it around, because we need more streaming platforms for games out there, so we can actually choose the best offer as a consumer. So I hope they are staying in the game, but they have to change things. Again, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like. And if you want to see more videos, don't forget to subscribe. I would appreciate that. You can also watch me streaming from Monday to Friday, starting at 8 AM EST, which is 1 PM UK time, on trovo.live/chaosmall. Thank you so much. See you next time, and bye-bye.